Now, recently, there's this game that has been popular on stream. I
On
have
June
no idea
11th,
why the fuck it is popular that much. The game is called fucking Banana. What type of games are even getting popular? Now, I have not played this game. I just saw it once on Steam on trending page. I thought it was a very weird shit that it is in trending. I don't know for what fucking reason. Well, let's just see what this shit is.
On June 11th, 2024, the fourth most played game on Steam was something called Banana. This game, if you can even call it that, first appeared on the storefront in late April, but in less than 60 days, it now ranks among the all-time highest player counts on the platform. Knowing this, you might be wondering, what's the deal? Is this some sort of scam? Is this secretly a Bitcoin miner? And why are so many people playing the game? In order to answer these questions, I did a deep dive into Banana and the team behind it. And unsurprisingly, this
Steam should be reliable, right? I don't think a random game that on a background mines Bitcoin should be allowed to be on Steam in the first place, right?
gimmick of a game
Or is it like anyone can put any game they want, like even if it is a virus? That would be bad.
Banana makes no effort in selling itself to potential players. The trailer and screenshots on the Steam store page leave nothing to the imagination. The
Yeah,
game
exactly.
is hardly
I just came to this page, that is all. And I thought it is a very weird shit, so I just moved on.
and screenshots on the Steam store page leave nothing to the imagination. The game is hardly more than a bare-bones Unity project featuring an image of a banana. Each time you click on the banana, the number on screen increases by 1. This number is not saved between play sessions, so you have to keep the game running at all times if you wanted to maintain your score
No
for
save
some
mode.
reason. Unlike other clicker games like Cookie Clicker, there are no upgrades or additional features to add a sense of progression.
Who
The
plays
real
this
draw
game?
here, as expected,
What do you get by just clicking on a same pixel on the screen? What do you even get by doing this? But seriously, how was it trending then?
is
Was it
money.
just a
Banana
coincidence?
is a free-to-play game. However, it features Steam Community Marketplace integration. This is the game system used by Counter-Strike and Dota 2, and it allows players to buy and sell in-game items using currency from their Steam wallets. In Banana, players are rewarded a random item from the game's collection every few
Who
hours
buys
just for
this
leaving
shit?
the game open. These items are all slightly modified images of the same banana.
Who wants to buy a fucking banana skin? What the fuck is this shit, man?
Each one can be sold on the Steam Marketplace, and while most of them are
I
only
am
going
well
for
over
3
to
cents,
this.
some are worth tens of dollars. In total, there are about 100 variations of
dollars.
bananas, but the developers are adding more every few days. With just this knowledge, you can already tell exactly
Damn, man, developers are. They are very free to do this shit.
why this game has become so popular. Hundreds of thousands of players, most of which are multi-boxers or bots, leave the game running in hopes of receiving a rare banana. Then they aim to list it on the marketplace to get some Steam currency. But what exactly is the point of collecting these bananas? Well, similar to everyone's other favorite JPEG collectible, the only reason for hoarding bananas is for bragging rights. But unlike NFTs, this game doesn't use the energy equivalent of a small country to process pointless transactions, so they can't be hurting anyone. Right? The game itself is exceedingly simple, made using the free version of Unity. The only actions you can perform in-game are clicking on the banana, changing the resolution, or opening the Steam Marketplace. Despite the absolute simplicity of the program, it's received thousands of positive reviews, most of which are banal jokes or memes related to bananas. However,
So it was just a fucking practice game for someone who was doing some random shit on Unity. And they put the game on the Steam and it fucking boomed? Like, come on. Forget
the
it.
litany of
Forget
negative
it.
reviews, some more serious accusations are raised. Notably, many call this game a crypto miner or a keylogger, but these are common claims levied against any suspicious game on Steam, so I take these with a grain of salt. Regardless, it's best to do some research of our own, just to be safe. Thus began my attempts to reverse engineer Banana. Banana is a game made in Unity, an engine with which I have some experience. Using open source tools, you can reverse engineer the game's compiled C++ code. After a brief review, I couldn't really find anything outwardly
he went deep
suspicious.
into this
The
shit,
game's
huh?
60 megabytes of data contains only 3 classes aside from those for Steam integration or the UI asset pack. Those are item drop check, update money, and full screen toggle. These do exactly as you would expect, and they account for all 3 of the game's features. The next obvious thing to check would be web traffic. If they were actually collecting user data, as some suspect, then we would likely see some evidence of the game connecting to a remote server. Web traffic can be monitored through a variety of methods, but I just used Wireshark and the Windows command netstat. I'm not going to be showing my results on screen since it would just reveal my IP address, but the actual banana game doesn't appear.
Like I just said, are they even allowed to put a game that is on a background doing something else but is idle on the front page? Like if the banana game was actually collecting the data without giving the notice to people, wouldn't that be violation? Wouldn't that be against the policy of Steam? I don't know, man. I think that should be the policy, right?
To contribute to web traffic at all. You don't even need Steam running to launch the game, and it works just fine when the internet connection is terminated. Any online aspect of the game is handled through its integration with Steam. Banana just tells Steam whenever a certain amount of time's passed and a random item is given to the player. That's it. You only need to click once every 3 hours to be marked as an active user. These banana rewards are distributed on a fixed interval, as explained by a bot in the game's official Discord server. By opening the game and playing for up to 3 minutes, after that the game checks every 3 minutes if you are eligible for a drop. The game drops a banana every 3 and 18 hours, just make sure to click once at least in these time frames. The poor grammar in this message is a bit confusing, but I left the game running for about 10 minutes and received 3 banana items in my inventory. There's a chance you'll receive a banana every 3 minutes and...
Wait, are you telling me people are doing this for money? Like they can just keep this running and they will earn the money in the Steam currency?
Received 3 banana items in
Is
my
that
inventory.
how it is being
There's a
perceived
chance you'll
as?
receive a banana every 3 minutes, with a guaranteed one every 3 and 18 hours. The 18-hour banana is supposed to be a rare one, although without any way to know the actual numbers behind these drops, who knows how rare it actually is. Additionally, because of how the Steam inventory system works, the developer does have the power to manually generate items for users. So,
how do people do this? Why do they fall for this shit? Like there was this other software as well that came into my view. It was called Honeygain, I think. Yeah, that shit. If you keep their software Honeygain running, you will get money by just keeping your internet connected to the app or the software, whatever that was. And the minimum withdrawal for it was, I think, $10. And the time frame that you need to keep your internet connected on the software for was like very big. It would take literally years for you to generate $10. And I'm talking about if you keep it 24/7 running, then it would take quite a few years to get your $10 filled. So I think this way they are making everyone be connected on the internet. They can just steal the data from you in the background and then they sell that data for quite a bit of profit. And most of the time, 99% of the time, no one is waiting long enough for $10 to be filled and then they withdraw. That is very unlikely to be any case. So I'm sure they were making the free profit there.
who's to say that they aren't just creating the rarest bananas and giving them to their friends? To conclude this section, there doesn't appear to be anything obviously malicious going on within the game's code. It's an extremely simple Unity project that probably took no longer than a day's worth of work to...
Yeah, it is basically simpler, people are willing to do it, and it is a different form of doing it. Their business model is different. Their business model is like, people will get the skins and then they will earn the money. So it is kind of different. Users, for the consumers, their perspective is gonna be the same. They want the money, that is why they are doing this shit. But the amount of time it is gonna take is gonna be too much
to put together. However, due to the nature of Steam items, there's no way for players to know.
Starting at $0.05, starting at $1.99, and the one that $1.99 one is gonna be extremely rare. Most of the time you are just gonna get $0.05 one, $0.03 one, which is most likely the case. That is why they keep you hooked onto the game. You think next time I'm gonna get this one, the bigger one, the bigger one. Let's see.
The true drop rates behind the different bananas. Since the sole purpose of this game is to obtain said bananas, let's talk about those next.
The bigger the amount, starting at the rate like $7.89. I don't know what the fuck that is, but that seems to be the drop rate, which is very low considering the drop rate from 0.031. 132,000. That is the drop rate of 0.03. So you are most likely never gonna get that $700 one. Can't people just figure that out?
Since the sole purpose of this game is to
whatever,
obtain said bananas, let's talk about those next. There are two types of bananas, common and rare. Most of them are awarded through timed drops, but there are some exceptions. There are currently 5 bananas that can be purchased directly from the developer on the game's item store page. These each cost 25 cents, and the bananas available here rotate out on an unknown schedule. The appeal of this, for collectors, is that they might one day become worth a lot of money once they're removed from the store. And for the developers, well, it's a consistent source of income. With every single banana being a Steam Marketplace item, they can all be freely bought and sold. This has resulted in a massive banana economy erupting nearly overnight, with hundreds of thousands of trades happening every day. While some rare bananas have been sold for close to $100, the vast majority of them are only going for 3 cents, the lowest possible price. In general, the revenue from a Steam Marketplace transaction is split between the 3 involved parties: the seller, the developer, and Valve. The percentages are, respectively, 85%, 10%, and 5%. However, the split can never be less than 1 cent per party, which is why the minimum listing price is 0.03 of whatever your local currency is. With the majority of banana sales occurring at the rock bottom price, each of the 3 parties will receive 1 cent per transaction. With this information, let's do some math. According to Steam's data, there are currently 228,000 players with...
Damn. That many people play this game? Okay.
banana open on their machine. Every 3 hours, a common banana is dropped, for a total of 8 a day. Each common banana can be sold for 3 cents, so with that 3-way split, the developer can make up to 8 cents per player per day. Assuming every single player successfully sells each banana they receive,
that is some money.
The developers and Valve might be making as much as $18,000 a day in revenue, and that's strictly
Told ya, that is some money.
from the marketplace fees. Who knows how much they make from the item shop? While this 5-digit figure is what's been tossed around by media outlets such as Forbes, it's actually quite a generous assumption. In reality, a large portion of Banana's users are Russian, as indicated by posts on the discussion forum. Since 0.03 rubles is a lot less than $0.03, those users are able to access buy and sell orders that US-based users wouldn't be able to see, since the minimum US price is 3 cents. It's kind of confusing, but basically, it's likely that the true revenue is a lot lower, probably closer to $5,000 or $6,000 a day. Still an insane amount of money, of course.
No.
Returning to the obvious question.
Not insane amount of money. There's gonna be tax and all. It's not gonna be enough. I mean, true. It is gonna be a big amount of money even if you make like, what, $2,000, even if 60% of your margin has been gone. Still. Even if you sum it around $2,000, it is okay. It is not bad, okay?
Who in their right mind would ever spend money on these useless items? If you're a longtime viewer of my channel, you already know the answer. NFT profile pictures amassed a trading volume in the billions at one point. A percentage of these purchases are collectors for sure, but most of them are just going to speculate.
Yeah, eventually all of this shit is gonna drop. It is gonna take a big dive down. Of course, no doubt about that.
Since every banana is technically limited in supply due to them rotating out of the drop pool, some people think that they might be able to sell the rare bananas in the future for a profit. Obviously, I can't tell the future, but I would be seriously surprised if anybody cared about these a month
They are basically trade gambling in even a game now.
from now. Aside from collectors and speculators, it's also likely that many of these players are just children looking to get free money. And as someone who was formerly a kid on the internet, I can assure you that I would have done anything to get some free Steam cash. Before we continue on to the next section, I want to make one more point here. Not only does no one know the true rarity of the bananas, but
Man, what's with the emoji? Everyone's got the banana emoji.
it's also impossible to tell who's behind the marketplace banana sales. Unlike some items on the Steam marketplace, bananas are considered a commodity. This means that you cannot see the individual marketplace listings for each item. It's entirely possible that a large percentage of the rare bananas are held by the developer and their friends. This would mean that they're able to dump them onto the marketplace whenever they want to cash out. To add even more factors in favor of the devs, all items purchased on the marketplace are subject to a 7-day trade hold. This means that anyone who purchases a banana with the intention of flipping it must wait 7 days. I'm sure that a non-zero number of people have already found themselves left bag holding a bushel of bananas. With all of these aspects combined, it's pretty easy to suspect that there might be some sort of manipulation going on behind the scenes.
Well, of course they're gonna do the manipulation. That is how the world works. What? Are you new into the world? I mean, of course, the kids are doing it. They would not realize it, but yeah, it is manipulation.
Especially when you consider that the bananas are
there might not be even any rare drops gonna be given to any, like the kids who are doing the game, who are playing legitimately, clicking the game every single fucking day. They are not gonna get any rare drops possibly.
added and removed from the drop pool on a seemingly random basis, allowing the supply and demand to be changed at the whim of the developer. In order to assuage your fears of missing out, the developers recommend that you join their official Discord server so you never miss a new banana drop. Just like the average crypto scheme, Banana uses Discord as their primary source of communication. With their server hosting over 30,000 members, this community of banana fanatics is ablaze with speculators discussing the hottest new get-rich-quick scheme. Here, users can learn which bananas are added and removed from the drop pool, make peer-to-peer banana trades, or participate in other community events, such as giveaways or live streams. They've also hinted at a potential upcoming offering of banana merch.
Man, who would have thought a banana will be a new currency between the kids? Crazy, man. Crazy things happen.
While none of this is sketchy in its own right, it's worth noting the sheer value brought by owning an active Discord server of this size. The Banana team has direct access to the push notifications for tens of thousands of impressionable users, who are clearly interested in either collecting worthless consumer garbage or getting free money. Again, nothing malicious seems to be happening just yet, but the opportunity is absolutely there. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of this server is the Banana Design Ideas channel.
Well, even if something malicious is happening, you wouldn't know it from just a front face. You wouldn't be able to take a guess on it, or you would not be able to realize it if they are good at hiding it.
There's two ways you can look at this. On one hand, it's a great way to get the community involved in the continued development of the game. Well, not like there's much
there
of a
is
game
no
here,
game,
but
man.
you get
It is
the idea.
just currency.
On the other hand, it can be
running.
seen as a way for the developers to profit off the work of the community. They don't actually have to put any effort into coming up with new banana designs. They just copy and paste whatever their fans made and plop it up for sale. Not to mention,
Just like any other game who makes the skins for their guns. Call of Duty, Fortnite, Valorant. Competitive games, that is what they do.
that most of this art features copyrighted material, so this whole thing is really walking a fine line. Nonetheless, it's your average large Discord server. The Banana Discord server is owned and operated by a user named These Lions. However, the developer and publisher on Steam are listed as Aladdin66, Pony, Sky, and Aesthetic.
Yeah, just a random bunch of friends one day decided to make this foolish game and just published it on live. And somehow they managed to make it into a currency. Now they're making a profit out of it. I mean, good for them. Good for them.
These four individuals have published another game on Steam, Lasse Sliden. This game costs $1, and it features 100 achievements and over 300 Steam Marketplace items. Reviews indicate that this is not much of a game at all. Instead, it's an amalgam of free Unity asset packs. There's no objective or interaction. Simply wander around and receive free achievements for pressing different keys on your keyboard. As you leave the game running, you'll also receive Steam Marketplace items, many of which feature random memes or references to friends of the developer. It's clear that this is the same idea as Banana, a nonsense product designed for collectible farmers. This is nowhere near the only game of this type on Steam.
Man,
however.
how do people
Ever since
get into
Valve
this shit?
introduced customizable
haven't even
Steam
heard about
profiles,
it.
especially the highlighted
Before I
achievement
even
section,
watched
games
this
like this
video.
have been popping up
Prior to this video, I had no idea this economy was going on. Damn. People do weird shit these days.
up left and right. Generally, the achievements feature humorous images or memes and are awarded just by launching the game. Since these titles are usually free or extremely cheap, it's easy for someone to justify purchasing them just for a funny achievement to show on their profile. This same logic applies to the Steam Marketplace items, which can be shown on the profile's Item Showcase section. Personally, I couldn't be bothered to care what my Steam profile looks like, but I can totally see the appeal for these gimmick items and achievements. With this context in mind, it becomes a lot more obvious as to why someone might want to make one of these games. It's one of the most low-effort undertakings you could possibly imagine, yet there was somehow a demand. Returning to Banana, the game was obviously inspired by another.
They don't even have to do any advertisement. They're very clear about what it is, and it's working. I mean, come on, man. Who wouldn't want to do that? If they're making profit out of it, a good amount of profit, why wouldn't they want to do it?
Another similar title uploaded to Steam earlier this year, Egg. This is
Especially when they don't have to do any work after they have just made this game, and the game itself isn't much of an effort, man. It is just a fucking banana. You doing clicks. A simple 2 or 3 pages of code can do that, I guess. As I think it's not hard, I know.
is more of the same thing. A minimum effort, glorified click counter that prints marketplace items. The same
This
thing.
one's even
a
bad.
minimum effort, glorified
What the fuck is that? Who plays these games?
click counter that prints marketplace items. Remember the Banana Discord server owner, These Lions? Well, I managed to find a Steam profile with that exact same name. Currently, they're serving the lifetime sentence of a Steam trade ban. Their profile hosts dozens of comments labeling the
Wait, what?
sentence
Currently trade ban. Damn, that is even possible? No idea, man.
of a Steam
idea
trade ban.
what
Their
that
profile
is.
hosts dozens of comments labeling them as a scammer,
Man,
but
I
they
had
shared
no
a
idea
video
about
claiming
that.
to exonerate themselves. These Lions, as well as some of their friends, participated in a Steam Marketplace pump and dump scheme over 3 years ago. It's as ridiculous as it sounds, but to summarize, they allegedly received thousands of free Steam Marketplace items for their friend's game. These items were, funnily enough, named Bitcoin, and they belonged to a game called Run. At one point, some unaffiliated user bought every single one of these items for sale as a joke, totaling less than $50. This sudden spike in trade volume caused the item to briefly be shown on the front page of the Steam Marketplace. This spotlight would attract the attention of curious marketplace browsers, who would begin to buy Bitcoin at an increasingly higher price. Since These Lions and the other friends of the developer held millions of these items, they had complete control over the supply, and thus the price. Pretty much every single sale was from the inventories of These Lions.
Man, it is nothing new. It has been going on for quite a while now. The only thing I'm shocked about is that it is being applied into the games now. Into the Steam. I had no idea it was going on even there as well. Damn. Crypto is getting into everything.
And their associates. But just a few days later, Valve would intervene. They permanently banned the developer, removed Run from Steam, and refunded all purchases of these Bitcoin items. Since These Lions was one of the primary sellers, they were banned as well. Whether or not you agree that this is a justifiable ban, this is undoubtedly the same These Lions that's involved with Banana. Their Steam account is even friends with and in the same groups as the user Robert Partison, who's listed as one of the developers for Banana. Honestly, Robert Partison and These Lions are probably the same person. Anyway, with all of these factors in mind, it might be worth looking at Banana through a lens of suspicion. These games that endlessly print Steam Marketplace items have been around for a few years now, and at the end of the day, it's really only the devs that make out as winners. This specific game was brought to my attention thanks to an email from a viewer.
What, you think it is different for crypto? The same shit's over there. The one at the very top are gonna make the money, the most amount of money. The ones getting stuck into the trap, are gonna lose the most amount of money. There might be some exceptions, of course, but you are not the exception. Weird thing that it is happening in the game as well.
I found it so intriguing that I just had to do some digging of my own. I always knew about the lazy asset flips with vanity achievements, but this whole item printer concept came as a surprise. I'm honestly not sure what will become of Banana. Its closest comparison, Egg, remains on.
It's gonna drop, of course. The popularity is gonna drop. There's no doubt about that. If a game suddenly gets popular, so popular, but very suddenly, not gradually, of course it is gonna fall down as soon as everyone gets bored of it. There has been many examples of that. One example I can give you is Fall Guys. It got popular very quickly, fell down very quickly. There are a lot of games which fell down the same way. Lol, crypto is going to change everything, Steam, everything. It is just getting into every single shit, man. It must have been doing paid promotions or paying people to play. Never know how people get popularity. Nah, man, the most weird shit. The kids will literally watch the most weird shit, play the most weird shit that they can find. The video was clearly mentioning on that it had no advertisement done whatsoever. Maybe it was just a funny thing for them, a joke that they published it and it suddenly got boom somehow. I'm telling you, it is just a coincidence that they got the economy made in the banana game. Banana economy. Just like every other game that falls with a very sudden hype, this is gonna be the same. You see, over right here, there's not much players, and then it suddenly got fucking kaboom. Big height, and then falls down. That is what happens. If the game gets popularity gradually, that game stays on forever, man. Just like GTA games, the GTA franchise, Minecraft, it's fucking popular forever, man. Have you seen the graph of Minecraft being popular? It was popular forever, and it is still one of the most popular game, man. If not the most popular game. I don't know, Minecraft is like the most exception game, I guess. It is just way too fucking popular to be such a game.
5 months after release. However, Egg didn't attract anywhere close to the attention that Banana's receiving, as it only peaked at a player count of 17,000.
What about Banana?
With
what
Banana already having been featured in a few gaming media outlets, the growth has only increased. This is further bolstered by the title's very positive review score, resulting from endless brain rot.
Who is giving these reviews? Very positive. What is so positive about that? There is no thing to say that it is positive.
Meme reviews left by literal children. Since I'm kind of contributing to the problem by making this video,
sense. They're making the jokes, giving a like, being positive.
Meme reviews left by literal children. Since I'm kind of contributing to the problem by making this video in the first place, I figured the best I can do is offer a word of advice. I wouldn't waste my time with this sort of stuff. The amount of money to be made here is pretty insignificant. We're talking tens of dollars at most. It's really not worth your energy engaging with this sort of speculative market, especially when so many of its rules are obfuscated. Nobody knows that the developers will suddenly print thousands of rare bananas, and who knows what they might try and sell next, thanks to their newfound fame. And even if everyone is just selling the bananas for the minimum 3 cents,
I bet the developers are not that old either if they are doing this shit. This shit doesn't have that much money. They can't just keep on doing this again and again and again. It is eventually gonna fall. I don't think it is a well-planned thing. Yeah, that is what it is.
the developer's still making a killing. I'd recommend.
And I don't think, as per what we are assuming, the money they are making, the revenue they are making, I don't think that is gonna be the truth. They're gonna be making a lot less than what we are assuming right now, which is of course what happens most of the time, but you never know the insides. They might be printing millions.
And simply ignoring this entirely and enjoying the inevitable dumpster fire when this whole thing comes crashing down. Despite this being a rather transparent money-making scheme, Valve seems to have given this type of behavior a pass. I guess I should congratulate these guys for discovering a way to make thousands of dollars with such ease. Never underestimate the power of the giga-consumer Steam users that care enough to collect the digital.
Good that they found it. Good for them. But it's not gonna work forever. Man, it was a good video. It costs your family more money and energy to keep your PC running while you're at school than you make selling fucking fruits JPEGs. Like the other example I gave of Honey Game. The amount of time it takes is not worth it at all. It's gonna take months, if not years, to do this shit. To make any little bit, tiny bit, literally the bare minimum threshold profit off of it. Which is also very unlikely that anyone's gonna stick around that long on that software, app or game. Of course, that's not gonna happen. They're not gonna make any money.